Today is my mother's birthday. She's been gone for many years now, but I still miss her. I don't dwell on her loss or break into tears every 5 minutes about her passing, but she was an amazing person and a gigantic influence on my life, of course. And I regret that she isn't here to answer the phone when on occasion I reach out to it almost because I want to tell her something funny that just happened. My mother was the eldest of 3 children and easily the smartest. She was tested and measured at some point with some kind of genius level IQ. She entered university at the age of 14 and graduated 2 years later with 2 years later with 2 degrees. She was a speed reader and devoured any book I might bring home before I had a chance to open the first page. She played the piano and sang, and while she wasn't a practicing Orthodox Jew, she was a Hebrew scholar, and she could easily translate back and forth between the King James Bible and the Torah, or the old book of the Old Testament. She was curious about and interested in almost everything, and she taught me by example to be open to the small and large offerings of daily life. Life wasn't always easy for my mother. She made the brave and bold choice to be a single parent. She had various health problems and was certainly afflicted with a version of manic depression. She drove everyone around her mildly crazy with her enthusiasms and certainties when she was up, and drove herself into darkness and months and isolation when she was down, down, down. These mood swings would last several months at a time, and one of the more obvious markers was smoking. She smoked cigarettes when she was manic and did not when she was depressed. When I look back on those days now from the relative safety of years gone by and accomplishments made and a life led, I sometimes wonder how I managed to survive that period relatively, if not completely, intact. My mother was also very funny. She was a big laugher and a real kidder and possessed of a wicked wit. She never liked a friend of mine called Mel, and she just reveled in calling him Melvy because she knew it would drive him crazy. And one day he phoned. He was a very sucky kid, and one day he phoned and said, "Oh, how are you, Mrs. Burner?" And she said, "I'm dying, Melvy." What? And she said, "Yes, I'm dying, and I plan on continuing to die until I'm 126. Her psychological insight and understanding were profound. I built a residential treatment center for addicts, alcoholics, and ex-convicts. What was her summation of this achievement? She said, "You know, David, I always thought it was a wonderful thing that a boy who grew up without a father became a father to so many other people." Well, she was right, but she hardly credited herself for how much she enriched my life. Pickle, sever the ties that bind, honor the ties that bond, sever the tires that bind, honor the ties that bond.